Moving on to the next item, which is item number 12, presentation on Galveston County and City of Galveston Transit Services. We're joined today by Mayor Jim Yarborough. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
And Chairman Commissioner Deanne Haney.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Commissioner Clark, I promise I'll be brief.
Thank you.
We're here for just two reasons, really. And we're going to tag team you with Commissioner Deanne Haney from Texas City. We're here, want to say thank you. We've gotten a lot of help from the TPC and HGAC's processes over the years, especially since Hurricane Ike and Allen. We appreciate your assistance in helping us bridge the gaps that we've had. And the second reason we're here is just to we don't run near the operation that Tom runs, that's for sure. We're on the other end of the spectrum. But we wanted to bring an update to you about what we're doing on transit in Galveston County. And to help us do that, we've got Commissioner Deanne Haney, City Commissioner of Texas City. She'll focus on part of it, then I'll come back and finish up the conversation about what Island Transit does, which is on the island. So, Commissioner Haney, thank you.
Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to be here and address this group. So, in general, we've got the three primary players in the county, and that's the County Transit District, the Connect Transit, and Island Transit. The Galveston County Transit District was created in 2010, and it's kind of a partnership of most of the cities in Galveston County. It includes the cities of League City, Galveston, Texas City, Dickinson, Kemah, Lamar, Clear Lake Shores, Bayou Vista, Hitchcock, Santa Fe, and Galveston County itself, which is a mix of urban and rural jurisdictions. Then Connect Transit is the public transit provider for the mainland Galveston County area, and Island Transit is the public transit provider for just the Galveston Island area, and also the physical agent for any funds that are administered by Island Transit. So there are some existing partnerships, and these have been codified in interlocal agreements with numerous municipalities and other entities throughout the county. And these range from the simple provision of local match funding to land donation and also joint development of transit facilities. You can see the partnerships listed. So there were some impacts on transit services and providing them. One of the big ones was Hurricane Ike, and there were a lot of facilities that were lost as far as those in Galveston, and not only facilities but buses, etc. And that was a big deal. Then also the census, it caused Galveston to be reclassified as a rural area instead of a small urban area, which resulted in $700,000 loss in FTA funding. And as agencies that serve both small urban and rural areas, Connect Transit and Island Transit do not have a dedicated tax base to support this provision of the transit service. So as a result, the agencies are always looking for alternative funding, such as HOT, LIP, partnerships, etc. And this just gives a comparison. So Galveston County transit agencies have provided more annual trips than Harris County Transit and Fort Bend County Transit combined. So this just gives you an idea of the number of services that are being done. These are the fixed routes right now that are provided by Connect Transit. So you see Texas City, Dickinson, Lamarck, San Leon, Bay Cliff. This is Monday through Saturday service. There's also ADA, complimentary paratransit, and then general demand response, which was privatized as of November 2014. So as far as the ridership, you can see that it's grown by more than an order of magnitude in the 7 years since Connect initiated fixed route service, which was in FY 2009. And you can see the difference here. This one doesn't look like it works. You can see it went from 15,740 up to 168,509. So this shows the budget resources, and the Connect annual budget is approximately $5.5 million, and it's combined of a variety of federal, state, and local resources. Some of the challenges facing Connect Transit and also Island Transit is finding and retaining drivers. And then the existing admin facility is outdated, has maintenance issues, and is severely deficient in space for both people and vehicles. So one of the aforementioned partnerships is actually between the transit agencies themselves, and it's to provide transit between Galveston Island and the Galveston County mainland. Currently, there's 2 park and ride operations. One is the League City Park and Ride, which is at UTMB's League City campus. That's been operating since 2012. And then the Mall of the Mainland, which is in Texas City, where 200 spaces are leased. That's been in operation since 2009. Both are contracted to Island Transit, and they serve primarily the UTMB area, which is the largest employer in Galveston. So they go back and forth to help take the people to work and home. So the Park and Ride budget resources. In general, League City Park and Ride has been operating using primarily CMAQ funds since its inception in 2012, with a local match provided by UTMB in the city of League City. And to date, the only federal resources supporting the League City Park and Ride have been the CMAQ grant funding. The facility is actually in the Houston UZA, for which Connect Transit does not receive 5307. So as far as the connectivity, there's only a few miles that separate the League City Park and Ride from Metro's Bay Area facility. And if we were able to connect the two, that would provide a full transit connection between Houston and Galveston Island. So you can see right now there's 7 fixed routes, 7 days per week, and some of the other services that are provided, such as the cruise ship shuttle, Seawall Boulevard, and then the rail trolley restoration that's scheduled. And then I'm going to turn this back over to Jim.
Thank you, Deanne. Thank you. Let me apologize in advance. I'm old school. I'm not a PowerPoint guy, so my comments sync right up with PowerPoint. I believe in just talking to you. And a lot of good information in there. I hope you will digest it, and it's on the HGAC's website, so you'll have that information if you so choose. We in Galveston, we think we're over the 50,000 population. We won't know that officially till the next census, obviously, so we've got obviously funding gaps until the next census comes out. We have 25,000 people across that causeway every day to come to work. So all of a sudden, by 9 o'clock in the morning, we're a town of 75,000. Most of them work at UTMB. UTMB is now spread at their main campus, downtown, Mall of the Mainland, League City, throughout Galveston County. We have 6 million tourists visit us every year. Our ridership is 900,000 strong, primarily local people. We're going to put the full court press on the tourist market. We're going to be bringing the fixed rail trolley back in 2017, completed by 2017. We're going to be procuring rubber tire trolleys to take them off the fixed rail and other venues throughout the city. So our ridership and our transit needs are going to be increasing as time goes on. We operate a $5 million budget at Island Transit. You can look at the numbers. A good portion of that's local dollars. We're committed to transit in Galveston. We've been there since 1956 on this path. We're committed to using local dollars, and we'll continue to do that to supplement our needs and the services that we deliver throughout the island and into the mainland. We're in the process of moving forward with $23 million worth of capital improvements. Happy to say that all $23 million and all those projects that you see there should be complete this time 2 years from now. Most of them next year, but some of them will leap over into 2017. These improvements will again facilitate the goal and the mission of not only Island Transit, but the Galveston County Transit District. We've got challenges. Obviously, we talked about the loss of population. That created a $700,000 shortfall in federal funding, and we're making that up, and this group has helped us. And again, I want to say thank you for helping us hit the stopgap on some money during this interim period. We want to close that gap that Deanne mentioned, and I know many of you in the room, we have forever believed that partnerships give better results. And partnerships, to me, don't necessarily mean partnerships by formal interlocal agreement, by somebody providing financial contribution to whatever the project is. Sometimes it's just support. Sometimes it's information, knowledge, history, experience. And we've seen that with Metro. We met with Metro and Tom and his group just a month ago. It's just senseless that there's a little better than a mile gap along I-45 between our League City Park and Ride and the Bay Area El Dorado Park and Rides. We're going to bridge that gap. That way somebody from Galveston, unlike those of us who drove our cars here today, we've got a number of folks who can't get to Houston and to their doctors and to the medical facilities that we love and share here in Houston without public transportation. And it's a nightmare to do it today. But with the help of Metro and their technology and League City and Texas City and Galveston putting up the monies it's going to take to provide the service, we're going to be serving the public in a better way. And at the end of the day, whether we admit it or not, that's why we're all in this business, is to provide public service. The one thing, Ed Emmett, I'm sorry Ed left. I know he's busy, but had a great relationship with Ed for a number of years. He asked, "Why are you here? What do you want?" I said, "Ed, we really don't want anything. We want to bring you up to date on what we're doing. But there's one thing that we really could use and would like to be at the table. We'd like the Galveston County Transit District to have a seat on the TAC board. We think we're a big enough operation. We're kind of down south, sometimes forgotten, especially when you compare it to the transportation issues you have up here in this big thing we call Houston and Harris County. But we'd like to have a seat at the table to make sure our interests are there and be a partner in an official way with the entire region by having a seat at the Technical Advisory Committee." So, again, Mr. Chairman, thank you. It's good to see so many friends that I haven't seen in a while.
Thank you, Mayor.
To answer any questions, and information is available should you desire it. So thank you.
Members, do we have any questions for Mayor Yarborough or Commissioner Haney?
Again, I tried to keep it brief.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The one thing relative to the request of council policy members, you remember that we had a request a couple of years ago by another transit agency, and we referred it to our bylaws committee. And if you're willing to entertain that motion, I would suggest that what we do is honor with all due respect to the mayor and the commissioner, maybe refer it to the bylaws committee. Alan, you want to talk a little bit about what we did last time?
That would be the venue for this discussion to come back to the policy council. Our bylaws committee, among its charges, would be the membership of our technical advisory committee. I will say also we have at-large positions on the technical advisory committee. We haven't really had a discussion with the Transit District Board about the possibility of accommodating their request there. But I think it'd be entirely appropriate if the bylaws committee were to also consider this request. But that would be the process that we have in place.
Is that okay with everybody?
Do you need a motion?
I don't think we need a motion. We'll just direct the staff, and you'll give us an update next month?
We will.
Okay. I don't think we need a motion. Okay, thank you. Mayor, thank you so much.